Hey everyone, this is Charlie the Plug, your host of the Detroit Metro Plug podcast, powered by Empower You Ventures. Don't forget to subscribe so you too can be a part of the biggest empowerment network on YouTube and Facebook. We bring you weekly interviews of Detroit difference makers in the area of entrepreneurship, community involvement, also reaction to business news and community news. This does not happen without your support. Thank you. All right. Welcome to the Detroit Metro Plug podcast. I am Charles McKay, aka Charlie the Plug, and where I bring you weekly Detroit difference makers in the area of entrepreneurship and community involvement. We got a special live that we're going today. I'm usually on Mondays, but today, Tuesday, we have a special guest for an upcoming event that we want to highlight and share about our guest's work here in the community. Definitely a true difference maker. So I don't know if people know that April, we still got a little bit of April left. April is considered the Financial Literacy Month. And we have a very special guest today that's going to talk about what she does in the area of financial literacy, particularly working with young people, as well as a community event that's coming up. So she's a friend of the podcast. She's been on before. We talked about her new book that she released. But let me give a little introduction. So our next guest is a passionate social entrepreneur dedicated to breaking financial barriers and creating opportunities for the next generation. As the founder and executive director of Making a Child Change Foundation, our next guest leads initiatives that equip teens with financial literacy, employment opportunities, and entrepreneurial skills, ensuring they have the tools to build generational wealth and sustain futures. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our guest. To my, I guess that would be my right or left. Sophia M. Barnett. She is the founder of the MACC Foundation, MACC. Did I? Yeah, okay. MACC Foundation. All right. Okay. So tell us a bit about your foundation and the work that you do.
Howdy. Thank you again, Charles, for having me on the show. I truly appreciate it. And howdy to all of the plugs out there who watching and tuning in. Charles did an excellent overview stating our mission to really provide teens with the skills and financial knowledge that they need to achieve prosperity in life. That is our ultimate goal in our foundation. As Charles said, we have an event that is coming up on April the 26th. It will be our first annual financial literacy event. We're excited to be able to really just partner with the community. That is the primary goal of the event. I recognize that there are a lot of families in the Detroit area. Right now, there are approximately 47% of them who are living in poverty. I know that does not mean people are homeless. It means that they are living paycheck to paycheck. They're under living wages, and they're really struggling to be able to see any type of financial security in the future. So with that being said, that was our primary focus. That's our targeted audience. And we do that through, as you said, those three venues, financial literacy education, our curriculum, also through entrepreneurship, through our summer camp. We're partnering with the UAD Mercy. Darren Lipkin, professor over there, is doing our teaching for the summer program. So we're very, very excited with that partnership. And then lastly, through our restaurant, MACC Burgers, when we employ the teens and give them living wages.
All right. That's all. That sounds great. People are going to be watching this, my audience, and they may not know your backstory. You have all these so-called financial gurus. You have professional licensed financial planners. You have people who invest in the stock market. You have people who, follow certain people. And you have self-proclaimed gurus in the age of YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. So tell us what makes you different in your backstory in this whole financial literacy space.
Cool business. It's funny, Charles. For the first time, I had someone ask me the question, "Oh, so where did you graduate and where did you get your degree?" And
Yeah.
normally nobody asks me that, so I always just go ahead and go about my business
Okay.
about bypassing that information. And it was funny. The only answer that came to me was that this was a God-given gift, and it was through hard-earned experience of starting off with a poor mindset and learning the skills through some collegiate education, right? No degree, but actually sitting in the classroom and learning, and primarily just through my grandmother growing up. I was paying bills in my household at the age of 12, where most people didn't even know what a bank account was. I was taking my mom to the bank, Comerica Bank, which is ironically enough one of the banks that's going to be there on Saturday with a table. Used to walk her up to Schaefer in Chicago, get the money out, walk to the liquor store, get the money orders, sit down at the house, fill out the envelopes, make sure everything was paid on time. So I have lifelong experience in the finance field, understanding that when I sat down at the table with my grandmother and she wrote checks, her rules was, you make sure you pay your bills first. You want to make sure you have a roof over your head. You want to make sure you have light and gas. You want to make sure you have food. Like that stuff that's been ingrained in me. My middle school teacher really taught us about finances in a way that I never thought I would be able to say that any of my kids had the blessed privilege of having their teachers teach them this. He stood in front of that classroom and he told us, I'm going to prepare you in ways that they don't want you to know, don't want you to be prepared for. So he started the after school stock club. So listen, it's a blessing to be able to pull it up on your phone. But right. He taught us how you get a newspaper and you read line by line and follow what your stock was and the performance is. And
they call that paper trading. You were paper trading following stock.
Exactly. So like it's always been ingrained in who I am and just how I was raised, right? And I was blessed with that opportunity. Unfortunately, I found out once I opened my own financial management company in 2011 that the issue of people not understanding how to run their business finances stemmed from them not managing their personal finances well. So okay. I got a chance to see the other half of it. So then that's when I got into the teaching aspect of, you know what, maybe if I host some workshops, I can get enough people in the room and be like, hey, listen, this is your problem. Let's fix this. Let's come up with some solution-based, action-oriented steps to be able to really transform your personal way of looking at money and not being intimidated by it. And so it was helping. And it also helped me to build out my business in that aspect. It wasn't until after my own personal life issues took place when my husband passed and my daughter needed full-time care that I was given the blessed dream to actually transform this over for teens.
Okay, that's awesome. Man, that's an awesome backstory. Your grandmother put that foundation. She took you along to the bank to get the money out, go to the local store, get money orders and write out the bills, DTE, consumers, whatever other bills you had.
Now look, so Ameritech, go all the way back there.
The phone bill, the gas bill, the electric bill. And then so that was a foundation. And then you said a teacher showed you guys how to read stocks. So that laid the foundation. And as you became an adult, you carried on that legacy and also advanced your knowledge, it sounds like, through self-study and lived experiences.
Yes, sir. Yep, that'd be a perfect way to summarize it.
All right. And then was birthed the MACC Foundation. Now, let's tie this into Financial Literacy Month. And so what are you looking to do? And tell us about how this event came about.
Yes. So as I said, one of the things that I'm figuring out coming into the scene, the Detroit scene, after being in business since 2019.
Yeah. Oh, I think
but about 24.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. We back.
Yeah, we're back. It froze up for a second.
Okay, no problem. And really being able to connect with people in 2024, I recognize that a lot of families are just in one sphere. So it's like you got a kid that go to one program across town. You got a group of kids that go to this program, and we're missing the intersection of where all of our programming can really be transforming a whole family system, a whole life, right? Not just we got this set of kids and we only doing this thing. Let's actually build out as a community together of nonprofits, of youth organizations, that's in the Detroit area that's being impactful individually. Let's figure out how do we do this on a broader scale together. So the ultimate goal that we wanted to do was to be able to get all of the nonprofits in the area who have a financial background, who do youth organizations, whose focus is their primary goal is to be able to build up generational wealth within the families in the community. Let's get us all in one space, get all of the families out there, and be able to go and network and communicate with each other and be able to get their kids signed up for the right programming and really be able to expand just the ecosystem of what we're doing for ourselves in the Detroit area. I get passionate about this. I can talk all day, Charles. So yeah, you gotta let me know when to be quiet.
No, you're good. You're good. So you kind of came up with this idea to bring a collective groups together with similar interests with a great cause of financial literacy, a pathway to prosperity, and financial generational wealth. All right, so tell us more. So who was this event for? It's on. I'm going to show this slide. It's on the 26th, and we have it's Financial Literacy Month. We got 3 little slides here. Well, actually 3 pictures. So tell us more about who's this event for. Where's it going to be located? Is there a cost? All the particulars.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So as you can see on the first flyer, and the QR code is there. So if you have your phones out, you can screenshot it, or you can zoom in. However you guys can figure it out how to get that QR code, or just go to the Linktree link. The Financial Literacy Month event, as I said, our primary focus was, but it is targeted for all Detroiters. If you are a resident in the city of Detroit, we want you there. If you have children, we want you there. If you have teens, we want you there. If you are an organization who works with families, who works with teens, work with youth, work in any type of financial field, we want you there. It is free for everybody. The only thing you'll be purchasing is from any of our vendors who have signed up. We still have spaces available as well. Normal prices are $50, but we're giving everybody a 50% off discount. So it's $25 for the vendor table. You get 2 chairs and a 6 to 8 foot square table to be able to set up. It is going to, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yep, it's going to be held at the Detroit Hispanic Community Corporation. It is located right there at 1211 Trumbull in Detroit, Michigan. That's right at Lafayette, about 2 blocks north of the main post office on 4th Street.
Okay, 4th Street, Lafayette, near Rosa Parks. That's Corktown area, right?
Yep, just south of that.
Okay, and what time does it start?
It starts at 1 p.m. and it ends at 4 p.m. We're going to have, we're going to have MACC burgers in the house. Everybody's been asking about it. So just
is that for purchase, or is that a sample or something else?
That is for purchase. Everything is going to be a fundraiser. We're in the process of building out our building. And so we want to be able to make sure we get the funds to get the roof fixed and to get that financial literacy hub up and running sooner than later. Okay,
so it's going to be food for purchase. What activities are going to have for people who bring their children?
Everybody who comes in, we're going to have multiple tables set up so you can actually interact. There's going to be a credit table. There's going to be a budget table. And yes, it will be child friendly. Our focus is on teens. So it's going to be some fun games, interactive consoles and tables around as well. Also, let my brain work. We're going to have a raffle as well, giving away $75 worth of financial literacy as well as gift cards. And we have some great vendors that's coming. Creative Creation. She always is a huge supporter of everything that we do at the MACC Foundation. She's been on board as a vendor since Shout Out Saturdays about 2 years ago. So proud to be there. Black, Brown, and Abroad is going to be in the building, and we're hoping we can get a lot more people that will sign up that's organizational focused, because like I said, we have tables available, and it's free for nonprofits, so you'll be able to showcase what you're doing, your programs to the community as well.
And so there's still spaces for right now for vendors?
Yes, we're asking that everybody please have a sign up no later than Friday, because then we'll be doing the final setup.
Friday, and that's what is this? The 20?
That'll be the 25th, and the day is the 22nd.
Okay, so it's this Saturday.
Yeah,
this Saturday, the 26th, from what's that? 12? No, from 1 p.m. to 4, right?
Yes.
1 p.m. to 4 p.m. this Saturday at the Hispanic Corporation Development Center?
Detroit Hispanic.
Oh, Detroit Hispanic Development Corp. I don't want to mess it up. I want to make sure I have it right.
No, it's fine.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's in honor of Financial Literacy Month, and also to promote what you're doing with the MACC Foundation, which is providing pathways to prosperity, teaching financial literacy, and also exposing people to generational wealth. What do you expect is going to be the takeaways for those who attend?
One, people understand that it's easy to be able to create a budget. A lot of people get intimidated when they hear the B word. We'll be on the spot actually going over what that process is like. We just had a focus group this last Saturday. Some college students and some high school teens who walked through that particular module of our curriculum. And so the feedback on that was it was instantaneous. They was able to walk away with information immediately. It's not something that somebody's talking at you as a talking head. It becomes real life and tangible. Also, anybody who have any type of credit questions or they're processing their own financial lifestyle, right? This is the second quarter, or I'd like to call my second year in review. So it's a good time when you're doing spring cleaning. Also do some financial cleaning. Review your documents and see what's going on. So we'll have that set up for you as well. And you get an opportunity to eat very good, right? Not only do you get the chance to be able to eat something tasty, but you're also giving back into a program that is also going to be able to help create generational wealth for future generations to come. And just being able to be amongst good people in a great environment, I'm excited for that.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Wow, there's a lot of surveys that talk about people's finances and particularly about budgets, and most Americans cannot handle a crisis that would cost $500. That would cause them to get into debt, like get a personal loan or even credit card. They can't manage a $500 emergency. So I think that your services and what you provide can help people in terms of how they can maximize savings for an emergency fund and also plan for long term.
Agreed. And the statistic though is sad in itself, only because I used to work for a payday lender as their training manager. And so, feeling like
payday, right? You're talking about when you get those cash advances?
Yes, listen, somebody did a movie about that recently too. I said I gotta watch it. Because I know that gotta be funny.
Some payday loans can get you in a trap.
Listen, it was people loaning there from experience, respect. I understand.
Yeah.
Listen, it was people loaning longer than I had been employed there. Like they file was like ridiculous. But the good news is I was able to start helping those people get out of those loans. A lot of times people don't realize when they're borrowing money, they're doing it as a quick, I got some extra money, and you don't have extra money. You got future money today. And the moment you get that understanding in your head,
your future, yeah.
Exactly. The moment you get that ideal in your head, then you can start paying it off in a way that's strategic, that's not going to hurt you, and then you can walk away and you don't have to worry about it long term. So stuff like that.
It's a mindset because, we have challenges, Miss Sophia, with all the events coming on. You got the Pistons game in the playoffs. You want to go to the game.
Then you put that in your budget. The problem
Breezy was just here with the Tycoon tour at LCA. We gotta go to the concert. Then you can't just, you gotta have your drip. You gotta be looking nice when you go.
Listen, and you can live that lifestyle. The problem is people think because I have a budget that I'm only required to do the important stuff. No, if you are circulating your dollar, which simply means spending your money, if you are circulating your dollar, it just needs to be counted for. You can put in the budget. You want to be fly that night to go to that concert. You got some habits. Make sure you put that in your budget. If you knew in advance,
what if I pay all my bills and I only got enough I can't go to the concert. Then my life is boring. So
then
why don't I just go to the concert and figure out how to pay my bills later?
Listen, I can't tell people what to make that priority. I can't tell people what make their priority. I can tell them how to do it.
Kendrick Lamar is coming. Should I pay DTE, consumers, my rent, or should I go to that concert and have a lifetime experience? What do you say about that? These are real. I know I'm joking around.
No, these are real that people really
go. That's how they get in debt, and you can. Even with concerts, they have this called like companies like Affirm, like buy now, pay later in installments. You even do PayPal. You can pay for them Kendrick Lamar tickets in 4 installments.
You put that in your budget and it makes sense to do it, then by all means live that lifestyle if that's what you want to do. Okay. But then you'll be on borrowed time, and then you
make. How do you make financial literacy cool and, for lack of a better term, sexy, to save and put off things and learn how to sacrifice? What are some as we wrap things up, what advice could you give?
Well, first off, when learning financial literacy has nothing to do with the budgeting aspect and just the paper and just the knowledge. I was explaining this to a lady last week. The financial literacy is a mindset as well. It's the way you think towards things. It's your relationship with money. It goes just beyond how you actually circulate your dollar. Howdy, my cookie lady.
All right. Shout out to one of our listeners who was recently she was recently on the podcast. So the cookie connoisseur.
It goes beyond just the dollar in your face. What is your relationship? What's your history with it? How are you an emotional spender? Are you somebody who's scared to spend? Those are things, the conversations that you have to have when you talk about financial literacy. So how do you make it cool? You get people talking about their parents. Like teenagers love being able to spill the beans. Like, well, no, my mama don't talk about money. Or whenever we go to the store, don't you go in there, you better not ask for nothing, you better not touch nothing. These are real stories and real trauma that we are giving to these kids, but they get an opportunity to be able to express that in an environment that's safe, that they need to be real with. And that's what makes them being able to say, I seen some bad habits, or let me recognize that, dang, I've never had my lights or gas cut off, or I've always had an opportunity to have a full meal on my plate. Those are things that now they get to be able to witness in real time. And it makes them want to learn more because they don't want to end up in, what they call it, generational curses, or bringing up the past to the present. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, my childhood wasn't easy. It was a little rough. We got they call it government cheese, the block cheese, Focus Hope, and the metal jars with the grape juice and cream of wheat.
That grape juice was the slap when it was frozen.
First of the month, our refrigerator was on full, and then towards the end, we making mustard ketchup sandwiches. We had bread, crackers, and whatever else. I'm laughing at this stuff, but I experienced that. Would that be called financial trauma when you grew up, with lack, and as you get older, it affects you how you, and then maybe that's why we borrow in the future, because we didn't have things as a kid, and we want to go to the concert, to the game, to that party, and we want to be fresh when we go in, nice clothes, But I think you're doing a great job with bridging the gap with, particularly in our community, the Black community, there's what we call a wealth gap, and I think your resources can provide great insight and help people bridge that gap. Let me show this as we wrap things up. I'm going to show the slide again so people can have all the information. All right, so this is for the whole family. There's going to be food provided, things for kids. There's going to be games. There's going to be the great food, MACC burgers, vendors. If you're a vendor, you're looking. I think it's only $25. You can click on the link tree or the QR code, scan it with your phone, and inquire to find out to be a vendor. $25. You can expose people to your business. And it's right here in Detroit this Saturday from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Detroit Hispanic Community Center, right on Trumbull, near not too far from 4th Street, Lafayette, Rosa Park in Corktown. Easy. Will there be plenty of parking? Plenty of parking? Yes, I guess that you're nodding.
Oh, yes. I didn't know that was a question. I'm sorry. I thought that was a
Plenty of parking. Yeah, okay. Yes, so any closing thoughts about this event? Why should people come?
If you're ready to spend a Saturday in a transformed atmosphere, to be able to not just fill your belly, but to fill up your mind as well, then we welcome you to come on down to the Pathway to Prosperity Financial Literacy event. You get an opportunity to meet my team. You get to meet the board. You get to meet other inspiring people in the community who's doing the exact work that you're doing or that you're hoping to do. So we welcome you. Again, it's a free event, fun for the family. You can also get the tickets on Eventbrite as well as on our website. We just look forward to see you guys for a day of a good 3 hours of fun of finances.
Fun, food, and finance. I just got the 3 F's. Fun, food, and finance. I mean, what else can you have? I'm sharing the screen of your website, which is Making a Child Change FDN.org.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this is building the bridge from poverty to prosperity. So how can we as a community support what you're doing with your foundation? Can they give donations to what you're doing? I see a donate button. Be the change.
Yes. Yes, you can donate on our website. You can go through PayPal.
Here's some of your programs.
Yes, you can also go on the Giveify app. Coming up this Tuesday, our after-school program will begin in partnership with Northwestern Christian Church that is on Detroit's west side. If you have any teens or any students who's interested in expanding their finances, or if you're a family member who also interested and want to come on in, it starts at 6:30 p.m. Again, that's next Tuesday. Also, get ready to look out for our summer programming that begins in August. It'll be a week-long summer camp for entrepreneurs, future entrepreneurs who are interested in joining and signing up and making a change.
I like this little proverb: give a man a fish and feed him for a day. Teach him how to fish, and you'll feed him for a lifetime.
That's how we feel our programs work. It's more than about just a one time and done thing. We want you to be able to use this for the rest of your life.
All right. Okay. Well, thanks a lot for being on this special live and sharing about what you're doing, and pray and hope that good turnout. And again, that's this Saturday, 1 to 4, food, fun, financial literacy.
Yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate you as always.
Yeah, let me make sure I share this slide here so people can see. There's the link tree. If you want to order QR code, you can expand it. If you want to sign up as a vendor, if you're a nonprofit, it's a free vendor to expose your business. You can bring the whole family. Bring your appetite too. Get one of those MACC burgers.
Yes.
And for those who are watching who can't make it, you can still support the Making a Child Change Foundation. Go to their website, which I believe is Making a Child Change FDN.org, to make a donation and find out about other programs. All right. Well, that wraps it up. I encourage everybody, a friend of the podcast, to support what's going on. And I'll see you guys next week. highlighting another difference maker, sharing about what's going on in the community. And if you find the value in what we're doing, please like, share, subscribe. Let the algorithm know in these social media streets, these YouTube streets, these Facebook streets, that positive, uplifting content is important too. All right, Sophia, you have a good night, and until next time, everybody. Hey, everyone, this is Charlie the Plug, your host of the Detroit Metro Plug podcast, powered by Empower You Ventures. Don't forget to subscribe so you too can be a part of the biggest empowerment network on YouTube and Facebook. We bring you weekly interviews of Detroit difference makers in the area of entrepreneurship, community involvement, also reaction to business news and community news. This does not happen without your support. Thank you.